We're right at this section here. We're almost done with the main page. And all we have left after we add these two little items, clean them up, is the footer. And then there's going to be one last time where we're going to look at cleaning up our styles with colors, borders, other items to just sort of dress it up so it looks better than just a grid like a mock-up. It'll look closer to a website when we're done. First things first, we need to clean up this input box. So we're going to go back to the components on Bootstrap. Make sure when you grab them, you look a little closer. This is more the kind of component we're looking for, where we have an input box and a button on the right. So we're going to switch it up to be this particular one. And what you do is you create basically an input widget, and then you create the span that allows you to group buttons inside. But we're just going to put one button inside. So that's how we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and work on it now. And then we'll vertically align that. So we want to zoom in on our code. We're dealing with this div with the class of row right here. We're going to expand it out. It's the join our mailing list. Also, if you look at the mockup, there are some styles applied here that look a little different from some of the other sections. So we're going to give a class for this so that we can target this particular section and style it. We'll do the same over on there. So we go back to the Bootstrap. And so what we're going to do is, since we have a div with the class of row and then we have our grids inside, we want to target our class on this div with the class of row. So we're going to add, we're going to put email-signup. And then later on, we'll style it over on the right. We'll deal with that in just a moment. Number two, once we add that, we want to work on this particular div, the input group. Okay, so I'm zooming in on the code a little bit so you can see the main difference. The outer div is a class of input group, and that is correct. And then we have the span here that we want to change the span. Instead of input group add-on, it's going to be input group BTN for button. And then we're going to get rid of this ID. Don't need it. And we don't need this example.com. Instead, what we want is we want a button. Whenever you create a button, you give it a class of BTN. I'm going to do BTN default. But as you've seen in previous tutorials, you can change this to info or warning or success. And then we're going to give it a type. Type equals button. So we know we're going to treat it like a button. We'll put add me. It's like add me to your list. Close the button. That's what the code looks like. Let's see what it looks like on the page. Here it is on the page. You'll notice, you know how you have that little hint here? It's in gray and you start typing and it's a darker color. That is the placeholder attribute that creates that. So we're going to change that. And instead of putting recipient's username, you could put username at site.com, for example. And we come back here. There it is, username at site.com, so they can click add me. So it's add me to the list. We need to center this vertically, and for that we're going to create some tags. We have this div inside of here, the input group. I need to take that div and I want to vertically center it. So what we're going to do that is I'm going to surround this div with an extra div. And we're going to give it a class of v-align for vertical align, or you could call it vert align. And then I'm going to close it after the input group. And then we need to tab that over. So inside of our div with the class of v-align, we have an input group inside. So what we need to do is target the style and then use it to center. So we've got top margin, top padding. These are all very similar. So I'm just going to hit enter. I'm going to put V-align, like so. And what we want to do is add some padding in between to sort of center that. In order to do that, I'm going to move my window so you can see kind of where we are, and we'll try to change it. On our V-align, we're going to do a padding of, we're going to try 5%, 0. That puts a padding on the top and the bottom. Put it 15%. You see as I change it, it moves it up and down. So padding of 15% looks fairly centered. I think that'll be good. We can always go back and readjust that later. But percentage is one way we do it. We're applying it to the top. We're applying it to the bottom. If you have the right amount, it should center it. There are other ways, like I said, you'll want to look it up. Okay, next step, we've got that window working right. What we need to do now is on the right-hand side, let's zoom out a little bit. We're going to want to put a little RSS feed at the bottom of this area here. That should be in the form of a div as well. So that's part of this section here that has a class of news. And expand it out. And before we close out the section, we're going to want to put our little RSS feed here. Okay, so what I was going to do is add a little glyphicon for the RSS feed. The problem here is using a code pen means, hold on, that you can't just easily upload an image here and have it display. And so one of the things I looked at is, what about a font? Maybe that if you go to Font Squirrel and you click on the, you got ornaments, you've got icons, novelty, things like that, where you can find certain fonts that will have icons with them that you can use. And the one I went to, let me just go back to the home page, was it had Dingbat was the primary category I used. So you go down here, Dingbat, you click it. There are 34 in all. You scroll down. I believe the one I was looking at here, Hayding's Control or Common Icons, these you download. If you look, you will see, it must have been the other one. Some of these will have the icon you're looking for. You want to click on glyphs. You want to find the icon, and it will tell you what character it is. So this was not the one I was looking at before. So this is the font. This is the icon I'm looking for. And so if you go over here and you click, you can download it. You also look at glyphs. You want to find the one that you're looking for. And once you find it, you can zoom in. It will tell you what character will get you that icon. And so it's the capital R gets you that one for RSS. Makes sense. So you'd have to download it and use it. Okay, so, and I'll just show you right here, R, and there it is. We'll zoom at normal speed, normal size. So you can use this particular font. For our case, I'm going to just copy the image address and just see if I can get it to display. And if I can, there. So I can use this temporarily for my RSS feed. So then I go to the Bootstrap. And remember, this is under the section tag. So I want to close the article. And I want to go to the section that has news on here. At the very bottom of here, we're going to create a div. Go ahead and give a div of RSS link. And then inside, we can put a image tag. And I'm not entirely sure this is going to work. Let's first of all see if it displays. It does way over here. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's the size of it. I saw that S there. Yeah, so the S stands for size, but its location, that seems to be causing some problems. So probably the best thing is to just find a link to an RSS feed image, drop it in there for now, but then later on you get your own image and replace it there for the website. So I'll just go back to the original link I showed you and grab that. Here's the image, right click, and then it's copy link address. And then replace that in here, like so. Ooh, that's the Google search one. It's better that you just click view image and use that link instead. Well, there's our link. Much smaller. Should look a lot better. There's the link, and then you can just add a little tag with the link to, get our RSS feed. Actually, we can put we'll just do it here. So at the end, the HTML will show there and the link to the RSS feed. This is all a paragraph, so I should probably move that opening paragraph tag up here so that they are wrapped in the same paragraph, like so. Link to RSS feed. Create the hyperlink, move that up here. And to be safe, after the image, which has an error in it, that's what I did wrong. I'm going to put this NBSP for non-breaking space. Puts a little space between the image and the link, and there you have it. And you can style that up in different ways, but that's what that RSS link's going to look like. And then you just have to work on the footer. Okay, we're ready for the last push of our HTML to get the mock-up done. We ended up with our little RSS feed down here. We're going to add our footer. And once we add the footer, then what we're going to do is we're going to go in and finalize our styles. So, in order to do that, I just want to zoom in on this and sort of collapse our sections that we have going here. Article,